Hey, happy Monday. So I'm back with my little Monday mindset live this week. I wanted to talk this week about meditation. I'm probably going to talk about meditation for the next couple weeks because it's such a journey and it's such a practice, and it's so important to this journey that we're on, or at least this journey that I'm on in terms of business and starting down this own path and really changing my life and stepping into an area that's scary, that's new, going from the classroom into business. And I'm still finding actually that I do a ton of teaching in my business with my clients, and I love it. But it's different, right? It's stepping out of your comfort zone. And meditation, I got interested in meditation actually in the mid-90s, a long time ago, when my sister was diagnosed with a chronic illness. And the medication that they wanted to put her on was would have caused like birth defects, and she hadn't had children yet. And so she went on this huge journey to heal herself, and meditation became a part of that. And so me being me, I was like, oh, I want to try this. What is this? And I looked into it, and I, got a book, still have it, Learn to Meditate. I think it's probably backwards for you, but this book actually kind of freaked me out. And because like the whole first part is, how to do it right? Like you have to have the right clothes, you have to have the right setting, you have to have the right everything. And I was like, oh my God, I don't want to do it wrong. And since then I practiced it. The key thing for me in terms of meditation, ultimately, so I did that. And then I learned about deep soul writing with Janet Connor, who's a mentor of mine. I've taken some of her courses and I adore her. And I'll share that in a week or two. But I learned that actually writing and journaling and really connecting that way was super good for me because I'm active, and it gave my brain something to latch onto. Because I found when I just sat to meditate, my brain would just instantly just go, wah, like, duh, and everything comes in. And I was like, oh my God, what? Like, and I'm just supposed to breathe. Like, I didn't get it. So deep soul writing was super, super helpful for me. And then I actually went with my sister on a meditation retreat 3 years ago. And this was huge. It was a 4-day retreat, and we didn't realize until the day before that it was a silent retreat, which totally makes sense that a meditation retreat would be silent. But for whatever reason, we didn't read the fine print. And we got this email the day before, now remember, you'll be turning off your cell phone. You'll be totally out of touch. And there's no talking after dinner on night one. Oh my God. I kind of panicked because I'm a talker. But this is what I learned at that retreat. It was, we were at Spirit Rock Meditation Center in Marin County in California. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful facility. And you can't talk. And the whole thing is about being mindful. And I've learned about mindfulness. I've read about mindfulness. Mindfulness, I feel like, is one of sort of those key words that's out there. And being in the present moment. And I'd read, The Power of Now whenever it came out. And I really liked it, but I didn't get it. I thought I got it, but I didn't really get it. And so on this meditation retreat, you're silent, and everything you do, they encourage you to be mindful, and they keep talking about this during it was a Buddhist meditation retreat, and they had these little, I can't remember what they were called. They're like little Buddhist kind of talks that the teachers led. And they were beautiful. But mindfulness is just being in the present moment and being mindful of what you're doing. So we had to eat in silence in a room with a whole group of people, and they encourage you to eat slowly. And I don't eat slow. I eat really fast because I got to get to the next thing. And so you're eating slow and you're chewing and you're tasting the food. And it was a whole new experience for me. And when I get really busy, the practice of mindfulness, when I don't have time to sit, and I have my little meditation spot right here. I have my meditation bench. But when I don't take a half an hour or 20 minutes or 10 minutes even to just sit and meditate, I find that being mindful and the practice of mindfulness and being in the present moment actually really deepens my meditation when I do have time to sit. So what am I talking about? Think about your brain. When you, your brain is always kind of thinking, right? And it's generally either thinking of stuff that happened, so it's living in the past, or it's planning for the future, Or so you're living in a future moment, or like my brain goes also to like fantasy land too. Like I'll create all these random imaginary scenarios where, you're the star and you're like on Oprah or whatever it is, right? But like, so there's like fantasy, past, and future. And the key is catching your brain every single time it goes into past, present, or fantasy. And I've just sort of added fantasy because I've found after watching myself, that's where my brain goes a lot. I'm a writer. I write novels. I create stories. I just like make these stories up in my head. And yeah, anyway, so, but really catching yourself when you're there and stopping and pulling yourself back to the present moment, and to the present moment, whatever it is that you're doing, whether you're folding laundry or playing with somebody or, having coffee with a girlfriend or your spouse or whatever, and you're talking. But while you're talking, your brain is like, oh, crap, yeah, I got to do that when I get home, and I got to go to the store, and I need to remember to buy, whatever, we're out of laundry detergent. But really focusing on staying in the now. And it's hard to do. It's hard to do for a solid minute. And really paying attention to your brain when it goes off. And this is super important in business for me on this journey, because I find that my brain in my business tends to live in the future. I'm planning what I'm going to do, how I'm going to help this client, what this website's going to look like, what I need to add to my program. I mean, it's all future oriented, right? And then I go to the past. Okay, well, how could I improve that? What's that workflow look like? How can I make that better? But then when I sit down at my desk, I need to sit down and go, okay, right now, what am I working on? Right now, where am I? And when my brain starts shooting off into all those other directions, being mindful of how my brain shoots off into other directions really helps my creativity, because I can bring it back down. Be like, okay, no, be here, be now. And a lot of meditation practices like Buddhist meditation have you focus on your breath and your breathing to help you bring that down. So whatever triggers you can come up with that help you to like take a breath, focus on your breath, be in the now. Or I sometimes will do that, or I'll do like a counting breath, like count to 4 as I'm breathing in, hold 4, breathe out 4. Okay, I'm in that moment now. I don't necessarily do that every time, because I find myself often pulling myself back to the present moment so frequently that if I were to stop and breathe, I'd just be like sitting there deep breathing the whole time, which is meditation, right? So there's your mindset shift. See if you can do that this week. And I would love to hear in the comments, even try it for a half an hour today. Like, see if you can note every time your brain shoots off, and bring it back to the present moment and how you feel. And you'll find, I think too, if you are a meditator, or if you want to get into meditation, practicing just this mindfulness when you do actually go to sit for 10 minutes or 15 or even 3 minutes. Like if you're starting small, that's awesome. Or if you're like, no, I'm going for it, I'm sitting for an hour. This will help. Super helpful practice. And especially if you're like me, well, probably everybody, I'm hyper, my brain rolls. So yeah, have fun. I'd love to hear how it goes for you. If you can actually slow things down and find that if you have any changes in your creativity or your ability to focus on a task at hand. Have an awesome week, and I will see you next week. And I'm going to talk about, I think, deep soul writing, unless in meditation, some other grand idea comes to me. Okay, have a great week.